Can I get a moment of your time? Smoke a little, life's a game of chess. Drugs, guns, hooters got me on the run. Let me shine a little light. Can I get a moment of your time? Smoke a little, life's a game of chess. Drugs, guns, hooters got me on the run. Let me shine a little light. I grew up on the 50s, I love my whole city. Got the little ones with me, I ain't going back to prison. House with a yard, I get my own unlocks, I walk my own yard. I'm Figueroa filthy.
Check 1 2 1 2.
Where I come from, dog, everybody's filthy. Get your hands dirty with them concrete burpees. Beer runs and licks. My heart was made, dog, with every single brick. Legend in my own. I get my little shine on. Got a house loan. I see a hater smiling, broke with a mouth full. Run with my ninjas, used to gun with my ninjas. Used to split top ramens on the hood with my ninjas. Can I get a moment of your time? Smoke a little, life's a game of chess. Drugs, guns, hooters got me on the run. Let me shine a little light.
Check 1 2 1 2. Can you guys hear us? Are we loud and clear? Is everybody in? Is everybody motherfucking in?
Well, hello there, YouTube land.
I want to welcome you motherfuckers to Hoodstocks. Today's podcast is brought to you by Hoodstocks. www.50racks.com. Check it out right there. You guys like that right there? Huh? I want you guys to go to www.50racks.com. We have all sizes. You order today after the podcast, it will get sent out tomorrow. Much love, much respect. Check out the Hoodstock tees. You guys been asking about it. We got the tank tops right here, www.50racks.com. Place your order after the podcast, and they will get sent out. They'll get sent out tomorrow morning. Let me get a drink of this Jack and Coke real quick. All right. Today, we have a returning guest. Looks like the witches and gods are on your side today, my G.
That's right.
July 15th, 2019. This man was a part of the very beginning. Hoodstocks, episode number 9. Back when the only people that were watching us was our shadows. I really feel this homie is an intelligent individual, especially from his upbringing. He has found a way to empower his mind and shed a little light through the darkness that he was raised in. I feel a lot of us lack direction in life. So if I could give this homie a positive platform and a push in the right direction, real shit, I really feel good about it in my heart. Backed by popular demand, here to educate, here to elevate, here to ejaculate. Wait, what the fuck? Homie, did you write that right there?
And you know how to get that in there.
Here to emancipate your mind from the monotonous cholo way of thinking, gangster way of thinking, whatever the fuck you label yourself. I want you all to give it up for my little big homie, Robert LOKO Delgado. Game time.
All right. How's everybody doing out there? Hope everybody's having a good day. Well, today on the podcast, we're going to be discussing how to protect yourself from the police. Because there's a lot of people out there that do not understand how to protect themselves from the police. They don't understand their rights. They don't understand their God-given freedoms. And they don't understand a lot of things. And it's just because society doesn't teach us these things. Me, myself, I've been in and out of jail since I was 11 years old. I barely changed my life back in 2014 and slowed down. I was unaware, or ignorant, if you want to call that, to a lot of things myself. But once I started learning the system, understanding the way that everything goes, you start to feel more empowered, because when you know how to talk to cops, when you know how to deal with these certain things, then you don't have that fear. You don't worry about this and this and that. So I'm going to touch a whole bunch of different topics. So let me start off with the Terry stop. Well, a Terry stop is when you're walking down the street, right? and a cop sees you and decides to roll up on you and say, hey, how's your day going today, right? Now, unless you are committing a crime on parole or probation, or unless you're a victim, suspect, or witness, the cops have no reason at all to be bothering you. Let's be real now. But what they do is play off people's ignorance. Like, California is not a stop and go state. You don't have to identify yourself unless you are being arrested in California. But a lot of people don't know that. So what happens is they usually incriminate themselves because, let's just say they got something on them they're not supposed to have on them, right? But the cops can't do anything about that. Now, if you're on parole and probation, yeah, they could search you. But if you're a free walking citizen minding your own business down the street and the cops are just messing with you because you got tattoos or because the way you look or because of your past criminal history, you have to have the knowledge how to stand up to these people. So let's just say, for example, real quick, I'm walking down the street. A cop rolls up to me and they're like, hey, Robert, where are you going today? Am I being arrested? No. Am I being detained? No. Then go fuck yourself. I ain't got nothing to say to you. Straight the fuck up. See? And a lot of people don't understand that they have this power. The cops are there to protect and serve you, the citizen. They're supposed to be fighting for us. But let's look at everything else that's going on in the world. You have this incident where this fellow gets killed, straight out knee to the neck. You have this other incident where this other fellow gets shot in the back 5 times. And what do these police officers do? They protect each other. They're like a gang. If you were to do something or I were to do something, they're going to talk about not what we've done, but what all our associates done and use that against us. Why ain't they held to the same standard? Like, there's a cop incident where they were fondling a dead woman's breasts and he got caught on his body cam. There was all these other incidences where you see all over social media where the cops are pushing protesters, beating up people, and doing all those other things, but they ain't held to the same standard to us because of their unions and because of all these other people who protect them. Now, I don't want to get too far off topic, but at the end of the day, I think it's really important that people understand how they work and how they back each other up. Because I've seen time and time and time again where these people flat out lie in court. They flat out make things up, and a lot of people can't afford a real good attorney. So what they end up doing is end up taking a plea bargain. They end up taking time because they're afraid if they don't take time, something worse is going to happen. Now, a lot of people know if you're committing a crime, you get caught, you know what you did and you know what you didn't do. But nowadays, it's coming to a point where a lot of these bastards are crooked as fuck. And it's really fucked up that it's like that, but then that's the way it is. And I don't mean to kind of bounce around, but I really want to focus on these few topics and stuff. Like, I brought a few books, right? You have the right. This book right here, it teaches you about your rights. It was written by a DA, all right? And it gets into a whole bunch of things, especially the 4th and the 5th Amendment. Your right to protect yourself from unlawful search and seizures, and your right of not self-incriminating yourself. A lot of people don't understand when they talk to a police officer, whatever they tell a police officer, whether good or bad, it's going to be used against you. That's when they say you have the right to remain silent, because anything you say can be and will be used against you, which gets into this other book. You have the right to remain innocent. It tells you a lot of the things that you tell these police, even if you're telling the truth, they get used against you, and then they manipulate what you say and then manipulate all these other things just to get a conviction, just to get you off the street, because they see you as a threat. They see you as somebody who is, I guess, not to their liking. Like, you don't see all these other things going on in these other neighborhoods. It's always these minority communities or all these other communities where they look at gangs as in like an infection or a pestilence, where they don't realize in a lot of these communities, a lot of these gangs started as protectors of the community.
Well, let's talk about police, and let's talk about how. Let me just bounce off of what you were saying in regards to police officers flexing in certain areas.
Yeah.
You know, certain neighborhoods. You know, they're not in the white neighborhoods doing this shit.
Exactly.
And so, police. In the South, the first police were known as slave patrol. Okay? Sole purpose was to guard against slave revolts and capture runaway slaves. Let me go on. police forces in Northern America were initially developed in response to immigration, which caused a population boom and racial ethnic conflict. Okay, in Canada, early police forces were developed to forcibly remove indigenous people from their land. Okay. And to see how, I mean, this all connects. This is, I mean, in regards to why police forces were initially developed, this, how do they call it? Systemic racism.
Yeah.
It's a part of
The culture.
It's a part of their culture. Yes.
It's so ingrained into their mindset.
Exactly, dog. You know what I mean? And so this is from then until now. This is it's connected to history, bro. This is what they do, homie.
Yes. See, because if you watch the news or if you follow anything that's going on in social media, there's so much stuff. If you did or I did, we'll be convicted of a crime. But these unions protect a lot of these people. And they always back each other up. They literally destroy evidence. They do a whole bunch of these things.
Yeah, 100%. And so the police, and when speaking on unions, the police unions are really, my boy, do me a favor, dog, and turn that fan down a little bit because I can hear it bleeding over on my thing, dog. Just watch out with that tripod right there, my G. Thank you, dog. Yeah, you can just, there's a knob in the back. Yeah, you can just turn it down just like that, dog. I hear that fucking just humming on my shit, bro. Thank you, my G. We'll thug it out until it gets super hot, then we'll turn that bitch back on, dog. You know what I mean? I'm sure you guys can hear us a little better now, right now. Little Rider, I see you, my G.
I see all the homies. Shout out.
Yeah, I see everybody fucking tapping in right there. But anyways, so a lot of people are asking to defund the police. Okay, so defunding the police is taking money from the police, you know what I mean? And I feel like money should be taken from the police department and reinvested
in the community.
In the community, mental health, housing, education, social services. The police are not going to reform themselves.
Exactly.
You know, they're not going to reform themselves. This is what they do. This is what's ingrained in them. It's you know what I mean? It's embedded in them. This is the culture that's taught to them. It's us against them.
Exactly.
And when we say us against them, we're not saying us against suburbia white neighborhoods, us against indigenous neighborhoods, us against African American neighborhoods, us against Chicano, Mexican, you know what I mean, neighborhoods, bro. This is what's like, bro, you know what I mean? Defunding the police is not something new. You hear it now. We hear it now. We're like, what the fuck is defunding the police?
Yeah.
You know, we're tripping like, okay, this is something new. No, this isn't new. This goes back to the 60s and the 70s. Defunding the police came from the Black Panthers.
Yep, Malcolm X.
You do a little history, you're going to see defunding the police started in the 60s and 70s. The Black Panthers were pushing this shit strong. You know, and so when people say defund the police think, oh shit, they're trying to abolish us. They're trying to get rid of us. You know, and so there's a thing right now going on, defund versus reform. You know what I mean? Now defunding is saying, hey, we're gonna take money from you guys, and the police union, the dude in charge of the union was he had his fucking chonies all the way up his fucking ass, and he was upset, bro. He was pissed. You know what I mean? He was like, how the fuck you gonna whoop, you know what I mean? If you want this shit, so what? Oh, we gonna take a little money away from you, so now you gonna move a little slower, bro? You know what I mean? I don't get it, bro. But I feel, yeah, we should take money from them, but they also need to be reformed. And I feel that not everybody should come out of high school with a chip on their shoulder, got punked all the way through high school and shit, homie, wants power, and so all he needs is a fucking GED, homie, and a clean record and no criminals in his fucking family, and he can be fucking God on the streets with a badge and a motherfucking gun, and he can do what the fuck he wants to do. Nah, I feel like these motherfuckers need to go in the community, my boy. They need to do time in the community, and I really feel that these dudes need to get an education, bro.
No, and I strongly agree with you, because from my own experience. Like, you've been in jail and I've been in jail. And at the end of the day, a lot of these people in jail are not actual criminals. They're drug addicts. A lot of these people have mental health issues. There's a lot of these people, and when I mean a lot, I'm talking about at least a good 70% of the populations have psychological problems or are addicted to drugs. Yes, I'm not saying everybody's an angel, all right? We do have people who commit crimes, go to jail, whatever the case may be. But like right now, they're talking about closing down Men's Central, all right? They're talking about LA County Board of Supervisors is figuring out a plan within the next year to close down Men's Central.
I think they should close it down.
Yeah.
It's old, bro. I mean, they say it's unsafe, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a dungeon. I mean, if you ever been to Men's Central in downtown LA, I remember the first time I went there, man. And we talking about the cops. You know, there's good cops out there too, and there's a bunch of fucked up ones too. You know, for the police officers that are watching this, I mean, you should be mad about this. If you're that asshole, if you're that one that's not, if you're corrupt, you know. But if you're straight, then you should be, you know, happy about this conversation, you know, because it's a conversation that needs to be had. You know, you having all these conversations about us. Let us have a conversation about you one time. You know, let's shine a little light on you. We ain't always got to be under the microscope. Let's put you under the microscope, because honestly, you live in a glass house just like we do, and you're very far from perfect. You know, but the only difference is we go to jail and you don't. Mm-hmm. You know, shout out to Jackie Lacey.
Yeah, you already know how she is. When's the last time you seen Jackie Lacey, our DA, convicted police officer? Huh? Look at everything that's been going on with all this protesting, how these cops have literally shot a man in a wheelchair, have done numerous things, and where are all these cases being filed? But they want to arrest you for not paying your tickets. They want to arrest you for bullshit-ass crimes. Literally. A lot of these cops racial profile, and then they get mad that nowadays they're trying to figure out another way to take away the rights of the cops when it comes to traffic stops. Why? Because a lot of the traffic stops is nothing but racial profiling. It's nothing but, hey, I know this guy and shit. They pull you over, they lie and say you made an illegal turn, or you didn't put on a blinker, or whatever the case may be, and they pull you over. I've been a victim of that. We're literally, I'm in a car with other people who I associate with, and despite our lifestyle, none of us are on parole. None of us are doing anything wrong. None of us have got anything illegal on us, but they pull us over and they want to chastise us. They want to harass us, and they make it seem like we're the terrorists. Because what they do is they fill out what they call these FI cards, right? And you usually think that these FI cards don't mean shit. Right? But let you get arrested for something, they try to use all these cards against you to say, look, he was drinking a beer here, or he was associating with this person, or he was doing that. And they try to devalue your character and try to belittle you to try to make you look stupid in the eyes of the court. And how the fuck are you supposed to trust that system when it's the same system who's paying these motherfuckers all the same paycheck? Where you got the judge, you got the DA, and you got the cops, all being paid by the same damn people. How the fuck is that a system that you are going to have faith in and know that they're going to get or give you justice in a system like that?
100%. I mean, they need to separate the DA from the police.
Exactly.
You know? All that working side by side, it's unjust, it's unfair to the person that possibly is fighting a case that they are innocent in.
Exactly.
You know, we have individuals, we have homies that are locked away doing life for something they didn't do.
Exactly.
You know, they had a target on their back, and the cops got rid of them. You know, it's this system we live in. It needs to be reformed. It needs to be. I say break it all the way down and rebuild it back up. You know what I mean? I say. You want to have police officers? Well, let's get some community leaders, you know, and let's put a badge on their chest, because they're familiar with the kids in the neighborhood. You know, they know little LOKO's ass since he was a kid, man. We know that fool. You know, we like someone that can have a little bit, can be a little sympathetic in regards to the upbringing that certain individuals were raised in that was out of their fucking hands. You know what I mean? You know what, bro? Like, I know you were raised in a fucked up household, or you had some hurdles to get over that you know that it wasn't your fault. You know, so how can we help you instead of how can I put you away? How can I break you? How can I break your spirit and make life worse for you than what it already is, you know?
And then that's another thing, right, Lux? At the end of the day, you have a lot of cops who do the right thing. You have a lot of cops who just do their job. Like, we live in LA, so we know the assholes from the real ones, all right?
By name.
Exactly. by name, and that's not to throw any of them on blast, but I've come across plenty of cops where, hey, how was your day going? Are you having a good day? 9 times out of 10, I may want to tell them to go fuck themselves, but I'm not gonna say that because I'm gonna just be like, yeah, I'm having a good day. Hope you have a great day. And then I walk away. But these people ain't trying to harass you. But we also know those type of police officers who flat out lie, who will harass you, who, if we're not videotaping them, which, just to let you know, you have the right to videotape any encounter. That's the reason why in Los Angeles County, why they all have body cams now. And if you ever are arrested and shit, you have the right to ask for that body cam. All right? Don't ever forget that. Whenever you having an encounter with a police officer, by law here in LA, they have to turn that body cam on. So make sure you state that you know your rights and you know what these rights are. Like, say, for example, if you're not a victim, a suspect, or a witness, what's your probable cause for stopping me? What's your reasonable suspicion? Because during what they call a Terry stop, they're not allowed to follow the outer layers of your body. They just want to make sure that you don't got a weapon. Lift up your shirt, let them pat you. If they grab you in any type of way, that's a violation of the law, all right? Look this up. Right here in this book, it talks about that. All right, it's a violation of the law.
What book is that? Because I don't think they can see it though.
Then this book says you have the right, a constitutional guide to policing the police by Laura Coates and stuff. All right, this book right here, it taught me a whole bunch, and as I go through it, I could read you guys a little stuff from inside here before the podcast is over. But it teaches you, and the book is written by a DA. But it teaches you how the cops prey on people who are ignorant of the law. They prey on people who ain't aware of their rights, and they love this shit. Why?
They love the ignorance, bro.
Exactly, because they could get convictions out of this, and it doesn't matter if you're innocent. If a cop has a chip on his fucking shoulder, he could lock you up just because he feels like it.
I mean, these are empowered like individuals.
Exactly.
They just like it's like me. It's check it out, bro. It's like me taking a fucking elementary student out to the basketball court, bro, and whooping their motherfucking ass. And after that, just fucking. You know what I mean? Pounding my chest like, whoa, you can't see me. You know what I mean? Like, this is the mentality almost, bro. Like, bro, you are just like, they love this shit. But if you educate your mind, I mean, and they don't want to hear this. They don't want you to educate your mind. They don't want you to know your fucking rights. They don't want you to know these laws, bro. They want you to stay down here, bro. But it's up to you individually.
To educate yourself.
All 155 of you right now, tuning in right now. All 155 of you tune in right now. It's up to us to educate ourselves and know better. Because if we know better and we flex that muscle, then maybe we put pressure on them to do better.
Exactly. See, and I'm talking about from personal experience. Like, let me give you a few examples, all right? That was one example where my brother had lent his car to my girlfriend, and it was parked there. Now, the cops started flashing the light at my house, so I literally walked outside to see what it is, and they're telling me they're gonna come inside my house. I walk outside the gate, close my gate, and I said, the fuck if you are. Ain't no one here on parole or probation. You are not stepping a foot inside my house. The cop tried to argue with me and try to do everything that he can to try to manipulate the situation until the point where I walked away. And I said, no, you're not gonna do it. Where I literally had to call the cops on the cops, talk to the watch commander, and the watch commander made them leave. He said, nobody in that residence is on parole or probation. You guys have to leave. All right? And there's little incidences like that where it was another incident where I'm over here hanging out with a friend. And yeah, he happens to be a gang member. But just because you're a gang member does not mean that you're breaking the damn law. It is your First Amendment right to associate with whoever the hell you want to. All right? Now, everybody has their initiation rituals or whatever the case may be, whether that's getting jumped into a gang or that's being in college and getting paddled in the ass by your fellow friends, all right? Everybody has their own initiation stuff. It's against the law to break the law. It is not against the law to associate with other individuals. And that's what people fail to realize. Right? The cops try to think about it like this. If you're a gang member, you're a fucking criminal. Where there's a lot of educated people who, yes, they have made mistakes in the past, but they changed their lives. Like, look at you, look at me. You've been on parole, you've been on probation, you changed your life, and you're a hell of a good man now. Me, I've been off AB 109 since 2015. I've been out since 2014, right? And get these cops pass by my house, try to harass me, try to intimidate me, to the point where I videotape them. I literally record this, keep a visual log written down every time they pass by my house, every time the helicopter does a flyby, and I keep this recorded. Why? Because if it continues, I could file a civil suit. I could file an harassment suit. Every time they pass by my house, hey, Robert, hey, go fuck yourself. I don't care. Because, dude, it gets annoying where my kids are asking me, and these are children who don't know any better, and they think police are good people, and then they start having the mindset like, Daddy, are cops bad? And I gotta tell them, no, not all cops are bad. But when it comes to the Gestapo and shit, I consider them negative. And what I call the Gestapo is these gang crash units and stuff. Because these people would harass you, where they know your name, your date of birth, and everything memorized. And I mean fucking memorized. All right? And then they try to make you out to be some vicious, crazy killer when you ain't doing shit. You're literally a family man. You moved out of the hood, or you still live in the hood, or whatever the case may be, but you don't get involved in any of the nonsense, dude. You mind your own business, and yet they still choose to harass. They still choose to sit right there and try to fuck with you or try to intimidate you. But you gotta be strong-minded and have a strong will to not feed into that bullshit. To just ignore it, or just be on your own zone and kind of flush it out.
Let that shit breathe for a minute. Let that shit breathe for a second, dog. We went in this shit like, homie, you know what? I like the way you jumped into this shit, dog. Because I was going to ask you how your day was going, how life was, my boy. You know what I mean? What'd you have for breakfast, dog? You know what I mean? And my G just like fucking...
Straight for the throat.
He just fucking unbuttoned his pants, homie, and stuck his dick all the way up in this shit, homie. I mean, homeboy went in for the motherfucking kill shot, dog. You know what I mean?
I'm just tired.
That's what I like. I like that about you, my boy. You know what I mean? You got that. I mean, you are very passionate. You're so passionate, homie. You say, you know what? We're going to skip all the motherfucking bullshit talking, and we're going to dive right into this. So it took, last time we were set up to do this, bro, we had some glitches. According to some people, I didn't pay my internet bill. You know, I love all you motherfuckers, dog, because when I read them comments, homie, I bust up and shit, dog. I love you fools, dog. You know what I mean? Give me a hard time, bro, because I give everybody else a hard time. You feel me? Yeah. You went deep into this shit off the rip, dog. Let's let it breathe. Let's say what's up to everybody before we fucking go into this, go further into this. Let's pour another drink.
Yeah, well, we can go ahead and pour another drink. If you guys got any questions, we don't got to stick on this one subject. I just went straight for this stuff because I'm real passionate because of a lot of things that I've been seeing on social media and seeing my friends go through. It's really, really bothering me and stuff. And that's the reason why I told the homie that I want to talk about all these other things. But if you guys got questions, don't worry. We just don't got to stick on this topic. We can do whatever you guys like.
I mean, homie's got a stack of books, so we're going to run through these books. We're gonna run through these books. We're gonna have a good time, man. This is Thursday? This is Thursday evening. We are gonna have a good time. We got one of the little homies sitting right now. I'm not gonna put him on blast who it is, but we're chilling and shit. You know what I mean? We just started drinking. I want you guys to start drinking, start smoking. I mean, whatever it is and shit. You know what I mean? You do what you do. You know. I mean, I don't want you smoking crack or nothing like that. You know what I mean? But if that's what you do, you know what I mean? That's what you do, my G.
Stay off crystal meth and the crack, please.
Yeah, crystal meth, dog. Don't fuck with that shit. But how's everything going, my G?
Nah, everything's going good. You know what I mean? I'm just living life, loving life, and just trying to stay out the way.
How's your family?
My family's doing lovely and stuff. You know what I mean? Just raising my kids. As some of you guys who know me know, I have a daughter who's autistic, so I give her special attention and special care, and that's a handful within itself. But you gotta be your best to teach them how to be their best.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, raising an autistic child, most definitely, you got to take a step back.
Yep.
And it's a whole lot different, huh?
Yeah, no, see, it's a whole lot different, and I got to keep in mind that because anybody who has an autistic child knows what it's like when they have an autistic meltdown. And you have to be patient, you have to be understanding, and you have to be willing to focus all your attention on your child and try to understand what they're going through and understand some of the things that they're going through is a frustration because my daughter has a verbal deficiency where she can't express herself for like me and you can, where she's about to be 9 in April and she can't have a full-length sentence and stuff. She still says like words to be direct because everything is concrete. She doesn't understand the abstract. So if I tell her go grab the ball, she understands that. But if I tell her let's play baseball, and she's not gonna understand unless I explain all the rules, and then she'll get frustrated and all this other stuff. Because when it comes to the abstract, when it comes to a autistic child, it's hard for them to understand that stuff.
Yeah, everything's a lot more mentally challenging.
Yeah.
I mean, is there kind of like there's like a buffer in their brain that it just takes a little bit longer to
see it's kind of like a spectrum, right? So on the autistic spectrum, you got some things that are very severe and other people who seem normal, but it's just hard for them to function in socially. All right, so when it comes to my daughter, it's not that severe. Like, my daughter is very, very, very lovable. Like, you could be a complete stranger, and if you say hi or how are you, she's very open about that. And that's a concern that I have because I want to protect my daughter's safety. So I try to make sure, even in school, that I tell her teachers that she needs to know that if she doesn't know a person, do not say hi. Do not be so open. Do not be so friendly and stuff. Because I wouldn't want anything to happen to my child. Because you know, with all this crazy shit going on in the world, and then especially going and you see on the news about human trafficking and all this other stuff. Because my daughter's not an ugly kid, so I get concerned and stuff for her safety. So I just try to teach her: if you know somebody, you know somebody. But if you don't know somebody, do not be so friendly.
Do you see your daughter? And I know your daughter, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've known her since she was a baby, bro.
Yeah.
Do you see her raising a family one day?
Maybe with my effort, because I'm very persistent, and with my girl, she's very persistent, and we're on her. We're on her about reading every day. We're on her about her learning every day. We're on her about all this other. So yes, with the effort that me and my girl have, I see her doing that.
Raising a family one day?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Living a happy life.
Yeah.
One day, do you think she'll be able to like hold a job?
All right.
Because there's different levels with the autism, right?
Yeah. Right now, at this stage, I probably don't see her doing that, but who knows the future? Like, right now, she's 8, and in my mind, I'm not trying to belittle my daughter. I love my daughter, but right now, at my mind, she may be 8 years old, but she has the mind of like a 2 or 3-year-old. So I try to be on her like that. So when she doesn't get her way, she'll still start crying and whining out. And that's something I have to deal with as a father that I have to understand. Because I got two daughters and 2 stepdaughters. But to me, there's none of that step shit. I treat them all the same. I got a 19-year-old. I got a 16. She's about to be 17. And then I got 2 8-year-olds. I treat them all the same. And then some of them kind of get jealous because I give the younger one who's autistic more attention. Yeah. But the reason why I give her more attention is because I feel like I have to be on it. And I have to be on her and stuff. And for the time that I was in prison or whatever the case was, I feel guilty for not being there. So I feel like I have to build a relationship with this daughter, and then I have to have this in common with this daughter, and then I have to have this special relationship with this kid, because you know, because you're a father, all kids' relationships are different, and you have to treat them all differently, and you have to find time, especially having all girls, to spend time with all of them individually, to let them all know in your own special way that you love them, that you care about them, and that you're gonna be there as that father figure. But dealing with teenagers sometimes, like with my older daughters, is kind of difficult Because you being that, they want to push you the fuck away. Like, you're not cool, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, fuck. I remember when I used to take you to go see all the Marvel movies. I remember when I tried to build this bond with you or that bond with you and shit. And they're like, I'm not hip or I'm not cool. And it's like, fuck it. It is what it is. I felt the same way with my parents. But, you know, like, my parents were wild. There was something else and shit.
Yeah, no, most definitely, brother. You know what I mean? You have, your plate is full. Yeah. Your plate is full. And, you know, with all these other elements around you, bro, I mean, it's a big, I'm sure it's a big balancing act, you know, in regards to, you know, getting pulled in different directions. And then at the same time, having to deal with legal situations, having to deal with, you know, the law, you know, harassing you possibly and making your life a whole lot worse if they were able to look or be a fly on your wall in your household and to see you, how you really move, what you're really doing, bro. Maybe they'd be a little, you know, more sympathetic and understanding. And this comes down to when I was saying about having community leaders as police officers, people that come in that know your household, that know your homes, that know the battles we own. We all fight our own battles, bro. We all have our own challenges in life. And when we walk out of the house, you might see this dude that's tatted the fuck up, and you think, all right, you're judging. This dude's this. No, this dude, and you might see a fucking mad dog look on his face, but you just don't understand that sometimes, you know, our own struggles, our difficulties, you know what I mean, are maybe written on our face, or maybe this and that. But I mean, you can't. Do you get what I'm saying, bro? I'm kind of rambling a little bit, bro.
No. I get exactly what you're saying, because, like, to use myself as an example again, like, I grew up in an environment where it was gang infested. I grew up in the 90s. I was born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s. This shit was crazy as hell. Like, you had houses getting shot up, you had people dying, you had this, that, all this other shit going on, all right? And then you decide by a matter of ignorance that you want to be a part of something, that you want to be a part of whatever group or whatever, because you don't know any better. You want to be a part of these people and shit. And when you decide to be a part of this group, right, you want to do whatever it has to take to fit in with whatever rituals or whatever initiations or whatever it is to fill your rep, so to say. All right. But as you grow up and as you go through juvenile hall, as you go through juvenile camp, as you go through placement, as you go through the Los Angeles County Jail, as you go through prison, you start seeing things for what they really are. And you realize life is a matter of perspective and choice. All right. If you want to change your perspective, you have to educate yourself. But if you want to change, then you have to change your environment, you have to change your peers, and you have to change your mindset, because it's going to be hard as hell for you to change who you are unless you change these other things. Because let's just say, for example, I want to change who I am, but I don't want to change my friends. How the fuck am I going to change who I am if I'm not allowed to change my friends? Because then I'm going to be thinking the way they think, because we're a projection of our own realities. People don't understand that shit, right? So then you start thinking, all right, cool. Now I've changed. I've had a strong enough mindset to understand who I am and the person I want to be. So you try to teach the other people who grew up in the same lifestyle that you lived to be something better. You try to teach them how to read. You try to teach them how to educate themselves. You try to teach them how to better themselves and teach them, go to college, finish high school, make something of yourself. These people don't give a fuck about you. They want to see you fail. They want to see you end up in jail. These people, to them, you're nothing but another statistic. And it's fucked up that I think like that, I know, but that's the way that I feel through my own personal experiences. And if you have a different opinion, you have the right to that opinion because you grew up the way you grew up. But unless you grew up the way that we grew up, you're not going to understand where I'm coming from or what I have to say. Because if you look at the person I am today, compared to the person who I used to be, I'm two total different people. And anybody who knows my past can vouch for that. I used to be the crazy guy. I used to be the one.
Keep on going, my boy. Keep that shit going. Keep going, my G. Keep going. Spit that shit, homie. Let them know, dog. Let them know.
You see?
Come on. Come on, homie.
You already know, my boy.
Drop them motherfucking jams, homeboy.
See, I used to be the crazy one. See, let me tell you guys something. By the time I was 11 years old, it was the first time I ever went to jail. By the time I was 16 years old, was the first time I was facing 42 to life. All right? By the time I was 21, I just got out from doing a 5-year stretch. My mind was so consolidated when it came into my lifestyle, the way that I lived, and the choices that I made. I wanted to be that guy. I wanted to be this guy. But sooner or later, you realize what's important in life. Your kids are important. You are a god to your kids because your kids idolize you and worship you.
I'm just gonna keep the round of applause going. Keep on spitting your shit, my G. Drop that shit, homie.
Hell yeah.
Talk your shit, homeboy.
And your kids worship you. So yeah, friends come and go, but a real friend wants to see you do positive. A real friend wants to see you making something of yourself. They're not gonna belittle you for the choices that you're making or for changing your mindset or for not agreeing with them about everything. Like, even though that I've changed, I haven't forgot about the people who are still locked up, the people who are still going through struggles. Like, I just sent a homie $200 because he didn't have nothing. Bam, there you go. I look out for a whole bunch of other people because these are my friends, people that I grew up with. And whether we agree about everything or whether we disagree about everything, I don't care. If you're my friend, and I'm gonna try my best to do what I can do to help you. Of course, my kids come first, my family comes first, and ain't nothing gonna get in the way of me and the mind state that I have now. You feel me? Like, you would look at me, and would you guess that I'm a Buddhist? Would you guess that I meditate? Would you guess that one of my favorite things is to read? Would you guess all these other things? No, you wouldn't understand that unless you know me. You see the tattoos and you think, oh no, he's just another street punk, or he's just another vato loco, or he's just another this or that. But for the people who know me mentally, intellectually, personally, they see me for the person that I am. And that's a good father, a person who's always trying to persevere. No matter what I go through in my life, I always try to overcome every obstacle and stuff. And I always try to be a good father. And that's just being real. Like, there's so much that I want to say, but I can't say. There's so much that I want to express, but I can't express for various reasons. But at the end of the day, my whole point is to teach all you guys there is a way out. And the way out is to educate yourself. You may not have to change completely, but you have to change a lot, especially coming from our backgrounds, especially coming from this lifestyle. And if you still associate with other people who are getting high and fucking up and you think you're gonna change, I'm sorry. If you're an ex-drug addict and you're still associating with other people who get high, sooner or later, you're gonna relapse. You're gonna have to cut some friends loose and understand it's nothing personal. It's not that you don't care about these people. It's not that you don't wanna see these people do good, but you matured enough to say enough is enough and my family deserves better.
Woo! Baby boy, talk your shit.
You already know. See, and that's just me coming at you from the way I'm coming at you because I was very impulsive. I was very aggressive. I was very violent. But at the end of the day, having an autistic child, you need to be understanding and patient. Coming from the background that I come from, I know any move could be my last move, and anything that I do is always being observed, so I have to watch everything that I do. You have to be a positive force within your circle, within your community, and within the people around you to better yourself. Because like I said before on the first podcast, things are in your control, things are out of your control, and there's things you just don't know about. If it's in your control, change it. If it's out of your control, why let it bother you? Because you can't change shit. And if it's something you just don't know about, well, just be patient until you get all the answers that you need. Because again, life is a matter of perspective. So let me give this example once again. I know I said this on the last podcast, but I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna give you a good little story real quick. All right? Let's just say, for example, there was this guy on a bus. He's with his two sons. He's sitting down on the bus, minding his own business. His two sons are running up and down the bus, annoying all the other passengers. All right? Another passenger sees the kids and goes, "Dick, this father has no control over his kids." He doesn't realize that his kids are bothering all the other passengers. And he goes up to the father and goes, "Excuse me, sir, can you get your kids?" And the father looks up at him and then looks at the kids and then says, "I'm sorry, my mind's been somewhere else. I just came from the hospital and realized that my wife is dying of cancer." See, when you judge somebody without knowing that person, it's easy to sit right there and give a perspective about a human being that you don't know. But when you start to understand that person and understand their struggle and put yourself in their shoes, then it's easier for you to sympathize with that person.
You never know what someone's going through.
Exactly.
You never know what somebody's going through.
And that's something that I come to understand. Where you get quick to judge somebody or you get quick to give an opinion about something, you hold back. Because you don't know what's going through that person's mind. You don't know what that person is going through. So you try to understand. And if it's not worth your time, then you just don't care. You dust that shit off your shoulder. You get what I'm saying?
You never know what somebody's going through, dog. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know how many times that I was going through something, bro. And, I try to be cool about it. I don't know, wherever I might have been at, whatever situation I was walking into.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? I'm not going to take this shit out on everybody else around me.
Yep.
But sometimes it just takes that one motherfucker, dog. It takes that one motherfucker, dog, to get that trigger pulled, homie.
Yep.
Because you're halfway there, but you're really trying to refrain. You're trying to keep it together.
Exactly.
And just on what you were saying, bro, you never know what somebody's going through. I mean, be mindful, like road rage. Sometimes I've been in road rage before, people are bugging out and they're having a bad day. I pulled up one time aside of this girl and she kind of cut me off. When I pulled aside of her and I was looking at her and I seen her hitting her steering wheel, saying, "Fuck." She was hitting her steering wheel, bro. And she was screaming at her steering wheel. And I realized, you know what? She didn't even, she probably doesn't even realize that she cut me off. And I pulled up on the side of her big bad motherfucking whoop-de-whoop-whoop with the mean mug, homie. You feel me?
Yeah.
And I seen her hitting her steering wheel, bro. Screaming at her steering wheel.
Yeah.
Maybe she had a loved one passed away, bro.
Yeah.
But you know what, bro? In my mind, bro, I was ready to pop off. I mean, I seen it was a female, pump my brakes. But if it was a dude, you feel me?
Yeah.
Hey, homie, whoa, fuck you doing?
Yeah.
But I seen it was a female. She's banging her steering wheel. You never know what somebody's going through. If we can just have some type of self-control within ourselves. I live in a glass house. Self-control, lucky. I mean, that doesn't really, people that know me will say that, nah, he doesn't have too much self-control as the old me. The new me, is like the homie said, I'm educating my mind. I'm evolving. I'm growing. My girl calls it, what does she call it? Seasoned. She said I'm seasoned. She goes, "You fool, you ain't all that motherfucking good looking and whoop-de-whoop-whoop." But you've been through some shit.
Yeah.
You're seasoned. I mean, sometimes when fools been through some shit, there's certain people or females that will see you and they'll look at your soul. They'll look into your soul. They won't even look at your face. They'll look in your soul. Yeah. And they'll be like, "Damn, this fool been through some shit." Yeah. Like your girl, bro.
Yeah.
She probably looks into your soul and says, she sees just fucking trauma. She sees terror. She sees fucking just crazy shit going on inside of you. Yeah. And then she looks at you and her heart opens up, bro. I mean, sometimes at the split second, I'm gonna kick back and I'm gonna look into this fool's soul and my heart's gonna open up and I'm gonna shed a tear and give him a hug. Like, no, it doesn't happen like that. And it happens like that in movies. But in actuality, bro, like sometimes we just need to take a step back and be like, before we jump the gun, before we pop off, we don't know what each other is going through, Me, myself. I mean, I don't know what everybody's going through, and I'll be the first one sometimes to pop off on some stupid shit. And then afterwards, I'll check myself. But now I try to check myself before it, bro.
Yeah.
but our individual lives, bro. I mean, and when you see a dude that's tatted up, bro, like, you know what I mean? Like, shit.
Yeah.
You know, think a little bit twice, maybe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, see, I understand exactly where you're coming from, like getting back into these books, right? Karma, right? People don't understand when it comes to karma. Karma is a matter of understanding and watching the way you think, the way you act, and your intent. Because if you think negative, you're gonna bring negative. If you act negatively, you're gonna get negativity back. And if you intend negativity, you're gonna get negativity back.
Let me say an example real quick.
All right, go ahead.
All right. I don't mean to cut you off, bro.
No, go right ahead.
But I hit this blunt right now. And I got this thought in my head on what you were saying.
Yeah.
You see this hyena, right? She fine as fuck. Sexier than a motherfucker.
Yeah.
You want to fuck her the first night. Right?
Yeah.
And then you hit it the first night. And then you get pussy whipped. And then you fall in love. And then she breaks your heart because she's a fucking whore.
I know a few
And
homies
now
fell
you're
victim.
mad that she's a fucking whore. But she fucked you the first night.
Hey, no.
Did I fall off track on that one?
No.
Or am I on point?
No, you did.
Give me a thumbs up if I'm right on this one. I might be a little off, G.
Nah, see, look. The way I look at, say,
Did I connect what you were saying?
No.
A little bit?
Not necessarily, because you're more focused on visual and impulse and human instinct. I was more focusing on intent, but because you could intend the right thing. Like, let's just talk about the 48 Laws of Power, Art of Seduction, where a girl wears something that looks provocative and it looks seductive, so it grabs your attention. A girl got a thick booty, a girl got some big titties or a cute ass face, and you're like, oh yeah. See, me, I know about the halo effect. And the halo effect, it literally tells you when you think because a person is beautiful, then a person is innocent. I know the most beautiful women are the biggest fucking whores, so I'll be like, nah, I'm cool. You feel me? Like, don't get me wrong. I'm a man like you're a man. So all natural instincts is to reproduce. So every time we see a bitch with a fat ass and big titties, we want to look. Me personally, I'll be like, don't do it. Your girl's going to sock you. You're going to cause some drama. Blah, 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 blah. You chose to be in a relationship. You have no right to hurt that person.
Am I the only one that gets a hard on when I see a rubber glove?
Yeah, I guess so. That's a lucky thing. Me, my fetish is pregnant girls.
I'm thinking of a Fifi, bro. You know what I mean? I see a rubber glove and I just see, I'm going to put lotion in that bitch. I'm going to fucking wrap it up in the sock and the towel, homie. And I'm going to fuck the shit out that glove. Sexy ass glove. That's a good latex.
Now, if you want to talk about fetishes, we could sit right here and talk about fetishes. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to get off top.
My bad. Ellie Cruz just said, lucky that was so random. But she said I was random before I just said what I said right now. But anyways, this guy is speaking facts. Shout out to Johnny. Much love, my G. City of Rosa. Yes, sir. Appreciate you. And the homie is spitting facts. That's a lucky thing. It is a lucky thing, bro. You know what I mean? I am not, I'm not wired up right.
You're not a sugar coater. See, that's our problem. We're bold. And a lot of people get intimidated by boldness because we're not the type of people to sugarcoat something or fake the fun. If we like you, we like you. And if you like us, you like us. But if you don't like us, you're really not going to like us because we ain't going to kiss nobody's ass. 100%,
dog. Exactly. I mean, when I like somebody, I tell somebody I love, I said, hey, Machi, I love you, dog. You know what I mean? Because that's just how much I like you, dog. You know? And I might have just fucking met you, homie.
Yeah.
You know, vice versa. Anyone listen, I'm like, you know what? It's you. When I make a connection with somebody, I can tell somebody from the first fucking the first time I met him, like, Ma G, I love you, dog. I mean, and that's no gay shit. It's just, it's connecting with someone on their level and saying, oh shit, I fuck with this dude because this dude thinks like me.
See, because look, no matter who you are out there, we are a projection of our environment and of our reality. If you're around a bunch of dumb motherfuckers, then you're a dumb motherfucker. If you are attracted to learning, to education, to realness, then that's just a projection of who you are. Come on now. Anybody who studies psychology knows what's up. And that's the reason why you see me pointing at these books when it came to Lucky. These books were written by an FBI agent. This is The Dictionary of Body Language, a Field Guide to Human Behavior by Joe Navarro. And then this...
No, hold on, quick. This is written by who?
Joe Navarro.
Which is?
which is an ex-FBI agent. She was a specialist.
Which is an FBI agent. Check it out. FBI special agent. He knows how to read body language.
Yep.
But check it out. Ex-convict Lucky Sun Tzu is going to write the same book.
Exactly.
You know, check it out. I'm going to write the same book because I know body language. How do I know body language? Because I'm in the neighborhood and I see how motherfuckers are moving, dog, and it ain't good. And I know that fool's about to pull out a strap as soon as he takes one step back. You know what I mean? Or I know that flinch. I know that whoop-de-whoop. Or I walk out to the prison yard and I feel the tension. I see the body language. I see these fools huddling up. I see this one fool with the fucking ghost face killer on his motherfucking face. You know what I mean? I know shit ain't right. I know the body language. How do I know the body language? I know the body language from experiences, from being knees deep in the motherfucking the lion's den, the motherfucking bonfire pit.
See, look.
I mean,
people don't understand.
Bro, let me ask you a question.
All right, go right ahead.
Let me ask you a question. Whose book should you read? Should you read the FBI agent or should you read the book by the ex-convict?
Now, if I'm coming to a specialist or a specialist, either one is just as good. Because when you're looking at these people who come to the FBI agents, they're looking for their own safety. They're looking for criminal profiling. They're looking for all these other things. But when you're coming to this person, it's a survival instinct. And that's where I was going to say, well, it got me so interested into kinesthetics, because that's what the scientific fucking name when it comes to body language, right? It's the understanding how people think. Because you got to remember, your verbal communication is literally only 5%. 5% of what you're really saying. Because your emotions are subconsciously projecting through your body language. And that's why body...
Run that percentage back by me one more time.
Your verbal, what you say, is only 5%. Look it up. Google the motherfucker.
I mean, how many times have you met I like that, bro. I agree with that, bro.
Yeah.
Even though I don't agree with everything that I read. I don't agree with everything that you read.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But right now, bro, I agree with that, because this fool could walk up to me right now, dog, and he got a cocky ass look on his face, dog. You know what I mean? When he walked up, I seen him kind of just nudge a person to the side, dog. You know what I mean? So off the rip, dog, I'm kind of like, man, fuck this dude. You know what I mean? And he comes up to me, he's like, hey, what's up? Whoa, 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 ba, 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 ba. And I'll be like, what's up, fool? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I might have said it in somewhat a peaceful way, but inside of my head, I'm already like, I ain't cutting this fool no slack. He says one wrong thing, I'm fucking reacting.
Exactly. See, what people don't understand is your body language says way more than you say. Because let's just look at this. Because I'm known in my area, or for the people who know me, as a human lie detector. And I'm known as a human lie detector because I can see straight through bullshit. If you're sitting right here giving me all these details about something I didn't ask, you're not trying to convince me. You're trying to convince yourself because you know you're lying. If you know you're telling the truth, then you don't need to convince nobody about shit because you know what it is. And that's the reason why I'm saying I was hip to this shit before I read the books, but the books sharpened that shit because iron sharpens iron. So when I looked at this shit and I was just like, you know what? If what people say is only 5% of communication, I really want to motherfucking know what people are saying. So I get into, like I said, this book by Joe Navarro, the Body Language Dictionary. I get into this other book, What Everybody Is Saying, an XBI's Agent's Guide to Speed Reading People. I get into Louder Than Words, Take Care of Your Career from Average to Exceptional with the Hidden Power of Nonverbal Intelligence, which is another big word, just fucking say body language, or understanding how people fucking think by the way that they move. Because the way that we move, it expresses our emotions. And that's the thing. When you feel a certain way, your whole mindset is stuck on that way. So let's just say that I'm mad, then every thought that I have is gonna be angry. If I'm sad, every thought that I have is gonna be sadness. And that's where it comes into the lens of perspective, all right? When you get into a lot of this stuff, you start to see shit for what it is. So a lot of the books that I read, they're intertangled. They explain things in a certain way, but they all connect. Because when it comes to my passion and when it comes to my understanding things, everything that I try to understand or read about is all interlaced. It's about human behaviors. It's about the way that we think. It's about the way they react. It's about pattern recognition. It's about all this other stuff. As far as probability when it comes to mathematics to when it comes to a lot of this other stuff. But they see the tattoos and they let the tattoos fool them. But once you start a conversation, then they really see what's up.
100%.
Yeah, and that's the thing that they don't really understand. Like, again, another book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. The only book you need to learn success. Bam. When it comes to all these books that I brought, besides the law ones, because the law ones have to do with human nature too and understanding the, all that. But when it comes to rules, like I explained to my kids, because we got house rules, right? And when it comes to house rules, I was like, if you don't listen to that, you're going to have to listen to the government. And if you don't listen to the government, you're going to have to listen to the people in jail. And if you don't listen to the people in jail, you're going to have to sit in that fucking hole, in that dark fucking dungeon and sit right there and think about that shit. Because no matter where you are, no matter who you are, all of us have to listen to somebody. All of us have to mind somebody. It doesn't matter what background you come from, what lifestyle you come from, we all have to follow these fucking rules. And these rules are moral rules, majority of them, and these rules are set rules that they see if people violate these rules, they hurt somebody else, whether financially, whether physically or emotionally, or whatever the case may be. You get me?
Yeah, 100%, dog. Hey, shout out to Haps with the straps. I appreciate you dropping that fucking $4.99. Shout out to the other homie that dropped the fucking cash flow too. I appreciate all donations. We trying to get this shit to its own building. I actually went and filled out an application for a building on Skid Row in downtown LA for Hoodstocks to have its own building, you know what I mean, where motherfuckers just can come through, you can get merch, you can fucking do your interview, you can just post up and maybe hear a live interview like me and the homie are doing right here. Right now, I'm in the process of getting our own building, guys. You know what I mean? And that's just because you guys have supported, you guys have shown love. And so all donations, you know what I mean, are going to Hoodstocks getting its own building. I love you motherfuckers. This show, I love all 171 of you motherfuckers. This show ain't shit without you motherfuckers. Shout out to Andrew Martinez. Shout out to Mike Hawk. Yes, sir. 50 racks all day. LOKO got the right. Hey, motherfuckers love you, my boy. Motherfuckers really, really love you.
I'm only spitting facts, and if you can't agree with me, you have the right to your opinion, but I'm only spitting facts. Everything that I'm sharing is something that I want to share with everybody because I want everybody to be as intelligent, as educated, or as smart as I am. I'm no better than none of you, just like you are no better than me. And at the end of the day, I want everybody to uplift themselves and understand just because you may not be a cop, or just because you may not come from the suburbs, or just because you may not be rich. Dude, that doesn't mean shit. If the cops try to fuck with you, know your rights. Show these motherfuckers you know your rights and know how to deal with them. If they really get out of line, I could drop a motherfucking lawyer who will file a civil suit for you for free. But if you win any money, they need half of that shit.
You gonna break bread like Jesus, and sometimes you gotta break bread like Jesus, and sometimes you gotta fucking walk on water.
You know what I'm talking about?
You know what I mean? And sometimes when you're walking on water, bro, it's because you educated your mind, and you really ain't walking on water. You're fucking drowning, my boy, but you feel like you're walking on water because you got all this knowledge in your head. That didn't make absolutely no sense. I know. But anyways, we gonna keep it pimping. We gonna keep it pushing. You know what I mean? Hey, my boy. Shout out to Giovanni Flores. Word up. Shout out to San Diego. Shout out to Mike Hawk. Shout out to what was the homie right there?
Are you saying Mike Cock or Mike Cock? Just a question.
I might be saying my cock.
Because I literally heard you say that shit 3 times. I'm like, am I tripping or is this who saying my cock?
You guys just got a second. You just got a fucking what do you call it when you in the same room? Motherfuckers are just fucking
like, shout out to my cock. It's the shit.
My cock. I love you.
Yeah.
You sweaty, pulsating motherfucker. Hey.
Thump, 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 thump.
You stupid fool. Hey, but I love you motherfuckers. Shout out to my cock. Oh, shout out to, did I just say that again? My cock?
My cock. You literally give a shout out to my cock.
I give a shout out to, if I say, you say my cock, I'm saying my cock, but you acting like I'm saying our cock.
All right. It's our cock then, my boy. Shit,
No, we ain't doing no fist bump on that shit. Get out of here. Nah, I love you, my boy. Hey, shout out to Advance Bop, $10. Shout out to Eric. Damn, I love you motherfuckers. Thank you. Shout out to John McHugh. Shout out to fucking everybody tapping in. Pacoima, I seen that shit a little while. Shout out to Neighborhood Norwalk.
Shout out to Pacas and Barro Neighborhood Norwalk.
Yes, sir. Much love, much respect and shit, brother. We got more books.
Yeah, no. See, what we got is Pedagogy of the Oppressed. This book literally teaches you how people verbally, mentally, and physically oppress you. All right? It's like, let me use a real quick example. Let me use the word assassin. All right? When you hear the word assassin, you think about somebody who kills somebody, right?
Yeah.
But when you think of friendly fire, what do you think about? When you think of murder, what do you think about? When you think of homicide, what do you think about? All these words explain the same exact action. Literally, you killed somebody. But in changing the words, you change the way people feel toward the situation. And what this tries to do is this book tries to teach you about how that works and about how people are oppressed and how when it came, I don't mean to get really philosophical or really into history, but I'm about to break this shit down. All right. Now, when it comes to this shit, we started off as hunters and gatherers. From hunters and gatherers, it came to agriculture. From agriculture, right, when we started settling in lands, it came to societies. From societies, it became to the haves and the have-nots. From the haves and the have-nots came to war, all right? Because if these fools have all this corn and we don't have all this corn, I want that corn. So we're gonna invade this motherfucking society and take their corn, all right? So you need to understand, everything is a stepping stone, all right? And now it comes to modern day society when it comes to social media and how people are looked upon, and when it comes to our reputation and all this shit, people are valued or devalued based on the media, rather the news outlets, rather social media, or rather whatever the case may be. So they try to fill this in by coming up what they call euphemisms or weasel words. So when you're talking about certain things, you use weasel words like sort of, kind of, maybe, I don't know, or stuff like that. Or when it comes to euphemisms, is exactly what I was explaining. To where instead of saying he killed him, they're saying it was friendly fire. Or instead of saying he assassinated him, he executed an executive order. Like, I don't get this stuff. Literally, it explains all the same shit, but that's the government's way of sugarcoating shit. And that's what this book teaches you. It's called Pedagogy of the Oppressed. Bam.
Honestly, I think it's just like you put it on the government, bro.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna put it on just like human nature, bro.
Yeah.
Because at the same time, we have our own perspective on what we label it and the intent of the action of it, what it was. Now, at the same day, if someone dies behind it, yeah, it's death. It could be murder. It can be friendly fire. It can be a lot of different things, dog. You know what I mean? But at the same time, we are not exempt from having our own personal opinion on what the fuck it was. Like, nah, fuck that. That motherfucker killed that fool. And then you got the cop saying, nah. He was reaching for a gun. Oh, wait, no. Like the homie in Gardena. You know what I mean? He got fucking how many shots on his back?
5
on
shots.
his back.
5 shots.
And this is coming from someone that was threatened by this dude, but somehow, some way, let off. As soon as he was threatened, he let off 5 shots to this motherfucker's back, dog. Rest in peace, my G.
Yeah,
you know
because how the fuck are you gonna feel threatened when someone's running away from you? If my back is turned toward you and my hands are up, because if you're running, who the fuck runs with their hands in their pockets? Literally. Let me ask you guys that question, right? That's just something to think about. All right? Who runs with their hands in the pocket? Nobody. They're trying to say homie threw a gun. Where's the gun at? They're trying to say all this other shit. Where are those videos at? The Los Angeles Sheriff's Department got all these videos. They're trying, Sheriff, whatever the fuck his name is, he's over there trying to say, we don't want to release this information because it's sensitive to society. But yet them come to them being defunded or them taking away their share, changing shit, then what do they start saying? Well, it's going to be a threat to public safety. Why do they do that? Because fear motivates people. And when people don't understand is that a lot of the news nowadays, I'm not saying the way it started off, because news didn't start off as propaganda, but nowadays it's all fucking propaganda.
It's trying to direct you in a way to think. It's like, oh shit, the coronavirus. I need hand sanitizers. I can't be around nobody. I can't do this. I can't do that. You know what I mean?
I gotta wear a mask.
Bro,
I gotta wear a mask.
The news, you know what? Check it out, dog. I'm gonna be 100% with you, my G. You know what I mean? The other day, me and my girl, we're sitting with our kids and we're watching the news, dog. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to be in a peaceful mindset of sitting with all my family, enjoying a meal. And on TV, I got this chaos going on, bro, that's telling me to fucking dig a hole in the dirt and build a motherfucking bunker, bro. You know what I mean? I have this shit making me fear what's outside of my fucking front door. And honestly, bro, I'm not a real easy person to persuade in certain things. I'm open-minded, but it gave me anxiety, dog. I felt like, you know what, bro, this is taken away from us having our dinner. And I asked my girl, I said, hey, love, do me a favor, turn that shit off. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I was straight. I said, it's giving me a little anxiety and shit, you know?
But the thing that you need to understand is it's called programming television for a reason. Because if you pay attention to it, it's programming you to think this way, literally. So getting back to what you were saying, when it's telling you to do this, telling you to do that, that's the way it is. For anybody out there in YouTube land watching Hood Stocks right now, if you ever watch the movie They Live, you understand what I'm talking about. How when it comes to advertising, when it comes to the media, when it comes to all this shit, all they're trying to do is control human behavior and human intent. If they could control the way you think and the way they act, they could control you. Why do you think you see all these motherfucking stories about data? For a lot of people who don't understand what they're talking about, they're trying to understand how you think, how you act, and what motivates you. And that's the reason why data is so precious to people nowadays. That's the reason why you see Facebook under fire and all these other companies under fire for sharing people's private data. Because they're sharing the stuff that motivates you. You're sharing the things that make you act, like the things you buy, the stuff you watch, etc., etc. And that's the reason why all this stuff really boils down to them understanding who you are. Because if they can understand who you are, then they can motivate you to act a certain way, to think a certain way, or they can play off your fears. Because you need to understand, no matter who you are, you have fears. It's a human natural instinct to be scared of the dark because it was a survival technique. Let me explain this real quick. When it came to us being in the wild, back before we had houses, back before all this other shit, when we were hunters and gatherers, when we slept to rest, we had to watch out for wild animals creeping up in the nighttime and eating our asses. Even though we're hundreds of years beyond that, right? We still have that natural instinct when it's dark as fuck and we're walking to take a piss in the restroom to where we say, oh fuck, I'm gonna turn on the light, right? That it's a natural instinct because it was a survival guide for so long.
As an innocent individual, young, when I was young, I was afraid of the dark.
Yeah.
As I got older, you know, and I guess I was on one part of the chopping block. I was on one side of the food chain. But I trained myself, bro, throughout the years. I'm no longer afraid of the dark, bro. You know what I mean? Because now the dark is my ally. Exactly. Now the dark is helping me do what I need to do when I'm coming out the darkness for the market shopping, to pay my mortgage, to keep the internet on for this podcast. So there's different sides of the food chain. There's different sides of the jungle. There's the hunted and there's the hunters. And now what I'm getting at right now is I have become a hunter. But when I was a child, I felt like I was the hunted because in the dark there was things that I was afraid of. You turn the lights out, natural instinct, like the homie said.
Exactly.
You're afraid of shit. But as I got older and I got pushed out to the darkest depths of the hood reality that I had to go against, not everybody has this, but you have a survivor and you have a...
See, look, let me try to explain it to you like this, Lucky. At the end of the day, it's called decentralization, right? So when it comes to this, right, it's where you experience so much shit with the shit that may frighten other people you're used to. So let's just say someone's getting shot at. For them, it's, oh my God, I'm gonna die. But if you've been shot at so many times, you're like, oh fuck, I hope I don't get shot. Your whole mindset and your whole reaction to current events or whatever's going on starts to change.
But what we have in common still is we all flinch.
Yeah.
But we all flinch differently.
Ain't no one trying to get shot.
When you have the opposite side. You know, when I was a kid in the dark, you have the ones that flinch and possibly panic. And then back to what I was saying, the hunted and now the hunter.
Yeah.
When I flinch the way you flinch, but not 100% because when I flinch, I have moves that I'm making. You know what I mean?
See,
and that's a part of being the hunter opposed to the hunted. You need to change your mind state. You need to fucking always be prepared for the fucking worst. You need to know your first step and your worst fucking situation. I was at Michoacan's in East LA. I'm smoking a fucking frajo in the back of fucking Michoacan's in Lincoln Heights on Broadway. You know what I mean? My girl's fucking having, fucking up them bomb-ass nachos right there, homie, with their homegrown shit. I go in the back, I'm smoking a frajo. Two fools come up to me. One dude flanks me. You know what I mean? And he hits me up. I'm smoking a frajo in the back of the parking lot. He goes, well, hey, homie, where you from? I see the other dude flank me. He pulls off of the dude and he comes to my side, right? And I said, I'm from Highland Park, homie, what's up? And as soon as I said Highland Park, fool, that fool pulled out a strap in this back parking lot. So if you pulling out a strap, then we have a situation. We don't get along. You're from the other side of the fence, whatever the fuck it might be, you know what I mean? I'm fucking handsome as fuck. You want to shoot me. I don't know what it is, but you pulled out a strap after I told you, answer your question and shit. He was so close to me, bro. You know what I mean? I could have ran or I could have take one step forward and fucking grab that dude. You know what I mean? And peep game.
Yeah.
I dropped my phone. I flinched. Back to flinching. I dropped my phone, I took one fucking step forward, and I grabbed that motherfucker and I bear hugged the fuck out of him, dog. And he had his gun right there, and he's yelling in my ear, and I'm looking at his homie right there, dog. I swear to God, this happened like a few years ago, bro. You know what I mean? And I'm holding this fool right here at Michoacan's on Broadway, bro. You know what I mean? And he's yelling in my ear. He goes, "What the fuck you doing, homie? What the fuck you doing? Let go of me, let go of me." And I'm looking at his homie like this, dog. I'm in survival mode, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I said, "What's up, homie? What's up, fool?" You know?
Yeah.
And he's in my ear. Let me go. I'm from so-and-so. We good. And then I said, why you pull the strap, homie? Why you pull the strap, fool?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I said, why you pull the strap, dog? And I was like a lit fuse, my boy. You know what I mean? I popped off, dog. And I was like, this is life and death, dog. I'm in a fucked up situation. I'm not turning my back to get shot in the back, dog. He's one step away from me. I snatched him, bro.
Yeah, no, see, I understand exactly what you're saying because years ago, there was a situation that I was in where somebody pulled out a gun on me. I had two choices, fight or flight. All right? The little homie that's out of perspective, he seen what I did, pulled out a gun on me, I bent the barrel backwards, snagged it, took it out of his hand, and slapped him with it. Bam, bam, bam. Because, you know, if somebody pulls something out and they don't shoot you right there on the spot, they're trying to scare you. Me, I'm coming into fight or flight. I'm like, you pull out a gun on me, you better shoot me. Shit, fuck all that. You ain't about to pull a gun on me, think I'm gonna run for you. Because if you that close for me to grab it, I'm like this. He got the gun again. I bend the shit back. It bends his whole finger. Get this shit. Slap them with it. Bam, bam, bam. I know they can't see them, and I'm not trying to have them see them. Hey, look at me. Am I lying?
Hey, check it out, dog.
You already know.
You know what's something that scarred my mind, dog?
Yeah.
Back in the day, the 90s, dog.
Yeah. See,
I get into
it. The 90s was a crazy ass time because to you were young, but I was a kid. You caught the early 90s. I caught the late 90s into the 2000s.
Check it out, fool. This scarred my brain and fuck with my little shit, dog. I don't know necessarily what you want to call it.
Yeah.
I had this beef with this one cat, dog.
Yeah.
I remember, long story short, bro, he pulled out a beeper on me, dog, like it was a strap. I didn't have a strap, bro.
Cell phones weren't popular back then, just for you youngsters.
He pulled out a pager, bro. You know what I mean? And he pulled it on me, bro. You know what I mean? And I flinched, dog. I'm not gonna tell the entire story of that, bro.
Yeah.
But since then, bro, I was like, this motherfucker, like he played me with a motherfucking beeper, dog. You know what I mean? He played me with a pager. He pulled that shit out like this, and he was like, you know what I mean? You know, I you know what I mean? As because it was in a motion type of shit, whatever. But anyways, bro, that always stuck in my head. And I said, nah, bro. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. I don't want to catch one to the face or nothing like that, bro.
Yeah.
But since then, bro, it was always on like this. So, like, when you pull out a strap on me, bro, I'm not going to react to some, but I will go into survival mode, dog.
Yeah, but everybody does. Everybody does. Because coming from a lifestyle that we came from, you know how the community gets, and you know how people respond to other situations. Without getting into specific details, when you are young, you're gonna think young, you're gonna act young, and you're gonna carry yourself like a youngster. But when you grow up and start to mature, what happens? You'll become a man. You feel me? Because whatever goes on when we're young, that's our past. And whatever we're doing now is conducting ourselves in a way to show people in a positive light that we know how to act, that we know how to think, that we know how to carry ourselves. And it's not that we know suckers, and it's not that this is that, because anybody push a button, we will self-defense. We will go into that survival mode. We will go into this and that. But that just means that we're not those little kids out there on the prowl looking for prey, because we're a fucking predator at the end of the day.
100%. I mean, pressure cases.
Exactly.
Pressure.
Pump up cases.
Pump up cases.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I'll meet dudes and I'll be like, oh, this dude's a pressure case. You know what I mean? And sometimes you read them, you know, and you won't be so quick to react to this dude because you know that deep down inside, he's a pressure case. He's really scared, you know? I don't know. That's just what made me thought of. My bad, bro. I don't mean to come off the wall and shit.
No, because that's what we call all bark, no bite. But that's going into a whole nother subject, and I'm trying to stay on topic. So when it comes to the power of now, all right? I don't know how to pronounce his name, so I'm going to just hold this close up to the camera. Just pause the screen when you motherfuckers see this shit posted. But when it comes to the power of the now, right? You got to understand. The past and the future is just a memory. The only thing that really exists is right now. When you're thinking about the past, you're thinking about thinking backwards, all right? And when it comes about thinking about stuff that happened in the past, it's usually things you can't let go, which are things that usually traumatize you, are things that hurt you, are things that you really do appreciate and make you happy and feel good. And when it comes to the future, it's just your imagination, all right? It's just things that you want to strategize, to plan about, to lay out a pattern or a foundation about how to reach this goal. Because in reality, the only thing that exists is right now, all right? Everything else besides the current moment that you're living right now is in the past. Because what just happened 3 seconds ago, or what I said 3 seconds ago, is in your past. You can anticipate, say, is he going to say this? Is he going to say that? But guess what? That's your future. You can speculate all you want about it, but at the end of the day, it doesn't mean it's going to happen or it's going to turn out the way that you think. Because the only thing that exists is right now. And that's all you should really focus on.
You want to see that book again?
All right.
One more time, guys, on the book. Let's ask him about the book. Let me see it, bro. So it's called The Power of Now, Guide to Spiritual Enlightenment. Eckhart Tolle, Tolle.
I couldn't pronounce that shit.
Yeah, the Power of Now, a Guide to Spiritual. You guys can't see it because I can see the light is blurring it out and shit. But
I'll try to hold it as close as I get.
yeah, there you guys go right there. Bam.
Pause it when he posts it.
Yeah, just pause that shit right
Yeah,
there.
see, this is one of the books that I read when I was in jail that helped me change my life, because that was and that was another book by I don't know if his name's Edgar Seiss or Edgar Casey, whatever the case is, but it's basically another spiritual book where it asks, how do you want to be remembered when you die? And this is something I thought about for 3-4 days, and there's only 3 things that I came up with. A good father, a good friend, and a person who always persevered. Because when you die, the only thing you leave behind is how people remember you. All right? So if I want people to remember me, I want people to say, that guy was a good friend, he was a good dad, and he never let shit or any obstacles get in his way. He's always tried his best to be his best, despite through whatever he's going through in life.
I mean, but it's so hard sometimes, dog. You know what I mean? When you're trying to be your best, you're trying to do your best. You're still in the hood, dog. You know what I mean? So you might have grown, but there's seeds in the dirt that are barely sprouting out the dirt that are just learning the process. They're not all the way with you. They might be under the influence of drugs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel in your circumstance, bro, that it really, really, it slows down your process as a human being moving forward when you're still intertwined. Not exactly you, but I'm just saying when you have certain individuals, in general is what I'm saying, you have certain individuals that are still being affected by these certain negative things that you have grown from, you have learned, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I guess if you are a teacher, you know what I mean, and you have the patience to deal with this stuff, then you can pass on your knowledge, and certain individuals that might be you would be perfect people to have in the neighborhood that can share this knowledge. Now, why are you upset because these people are hanging out right here? Maybe these people need to be hanging around this dude because they're hanging around that dude where we know they're selling meth out of, you know what I mean?
When they're a negative influence.
Yeah, they're a negative influence, then it would be a fucking, like, you should be worried about that. But I'm just saying, in general, if I have someone that's fucking with you, bro, you know what I mean? I hope if I drop them off and when I pick them up, I would expect them to gain some knowledge and be a little bit smarter than when I dropped them off.
From anybody who personally knows me, right? You would look at me and you wouldn't think about this, that, or the other. But if you were to really know me, you would know I'm a Buddhist, all right? I have the right to my beliefs just like everybody else does and stuff. And when it comes to me, I happen to believe in the Buddha. Now, the Buddha was not a god. He was a teacher. All right. And when he came to taught, he taught about how to understand suffering and how to understand life. All right. He's no better than me or you or anybody else, but he's meditated long enough and been through enough shit in life to see how human nature is.
Is meditation the answer?
No, in my mind, meditation may be the answer for me. It may not be the answer for you. If prayer helps you, Jesus helps you, Muhammad helps you, or whatever helps you, the more power to you. To me, I'm an atheistic Buddhist. And what that just means is I found my comfort in the Buddhist teachings, and I found my comfort in meditating and understanding myself. Because a lot of people can't sit down in a quiet room with no TV on.
So would you be a Scientologist or what?
No, a Scientologist is something totally different. A Buddhist is just somebody who understands that the only savior in their life is themselves.
Okay, and well, how was the world created?
All right, if you want to
There's not a God?
No, according to Buddhism, none of those questions are important. But if you want to get into religious stuff, that's a whole nother topic. But just
no. So there's a difference between religious stuff and Buddhism.
No,
but do you believe in religious stuff? Because you said you're an atheist.
All right. I personally don't have nothing negative to say about people who believe in God. Whether that's Jews, Christians, Muslims, Shinto, whether it's Taoism, Buddhism, or whatever the case may be, Hinduism, whatever helps you become a better person in life is what really matters. Because what really matters is how you treat other people, how you react to other people, how you try to understand other people. And it's not really about who you worship or how you think. Because if you believe in God and that gives you strength, the more power to you. But in my mind, my strength comes from myself. My strength comes from understanding myself. Because as you know, Lucky.
Have you ever had an outer body experience?
Yes, I have.
And where did that come from? Was it Buddhism or was it spirituality?
No. See,
does Buddhism believe in spirituality?
Spirituality. What do you mean? What do you define as spiritual? There's
spirits around. I'm gonna just say it in an elementary way as my shit, bro.
Yeah.
But there's spirituality. There's beings around us right now, bro. You know what I mean? Spirituality, like there is possibly an afterlife and there is spirits. I mean, have you ever heard of a haunted house? Do you believe in a haunted house?
No.
No. Okay, you don't believe in a haunted house. Okay, spirituality, bro. You know what I mean? When I pray, dear Lord in heaven, I want to thank you for this food I'm about to receive. Or I want to, God, please let me get to work in a safely manner. Or thank you for the blessings. You're able to, you know, I was able to pay my motherfucking rent, you know. And hey, I want to give God, I want to give a shout out to you know, and all these people that have passed away. I love you guys. And I'm saying that because I feel like they can hear me, dog. Right. Spirituality.
See me, I've studied different religions. And without getting into specific details or disrespecting anybody's personal beliefs, like through science and understanding how the history of religion works, through my understanding, I believe that people, like I said, we started up as hunters, gatherers. We try to understand the world. We try to understand how the world was created. We try to understand life. But any books that were written were man-made books that were written, and stuff. And anything written by man is hard for me to believe, because that's just like you telling me and me believing you or anybody else. Because of all these books were destroyed, right? And you destroyed every scientific fact that was destroyed. Scientific facts are gonna come back the same way.
But did you say they were destroyed? So you're saying the Bible is not written by these individuals?
Well, through my personal opinion, I'm not trying to disrespect anybody's personal beliefs, because they have every right to believe in how they believe.
I get that, bro. But we had this conversation before, bro. Hold on. No.
I'm gonna put it to you like this. Without the viewers being here, this is Robert talking to Jeremy. Now, Jeremy, at the end of the day, if you're telling me, right, if I believe in a Bible, if I believe in God, or if I believe in any of this other stuff, I'm gonna tell you, Jeremy, no, I don't believe in it. If you ask me why, Robert, I said because the Bible was written by a man. If you want to talk about the first 5 books of the Old Testament that were supposed to be written by Moses, whether it's the Septuagint, the Pentateuch, the Dead Sea Scrolls, or the Gnostic Scriptures, or whatever it was, I studied all these things, and through my own personal opinion, a lot of these other things are not to be. I don't want to disrespect anybody, so it's not agreeable with, in my own personal opinion. Now, for other people who just believe in something because it was handed down to them by their grandmother, their mother, or whoever it was, I have no right to disrespect that.
That's the same thing.
Yeah, see,
that's the same thing.
But when these
people are related to people. This is someone's grandmother. This is someone's grandfather, bro.
See. But when it comes to this, let me be real, and this is
100%.
And this is just frank.
So that's let me say what I'm going to say.
I don't want to disrespect nobody's personal religions, but if we're getting real and from my own personal opinion, all right, where did all this shit come from? All this shit came from Jerusalem. All this shit came from the Roman era. All right, Jesus was not a Christian; he was a Jew. Straight the fuck up. So when it comes to Christianity, it's considered a forbidden religion.
You studied it.
But if you tell somebody this, they're gonna get offended, and I don't want to offend anybody.
I get it, bro. But this is beyond offending someone, and this is all I wanted to say before you fucking attacked me, bro. I feel really attacked right now, dog. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry.
If you feel I was attacked, somebody drop me $1 right now. No, I'm just playing. There ain't nobody panhandling right here, my G. Hey, but I just thought that would be funny to say. Nah, bro.
You got $4.99.
Oh, Mike Cock.
Shout out,
Mike Cock. Love you, my G. Thank you, dog.
Yeah.
This is all I was gonna say, dog. I was gonna say that we had this conversation.
Yeah.
We respect. I told you a story that I walked into a bruja's apartment, and when I walked in there, I noticed that something was wrong. I know that it was fucked up.
Yeah.
I know that there was something being practiced here that was foreign to what I believe in, but I respected it. And you told me, and we had this conversation, in order to hold your power in whatever you believe in, you respect because these other elements.
Because what's it called?
And so that's why I'm trying to say that you're saying what you're saying, because you're just trying to be respectful on these other elements. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you may not feel that it's not necessarily right. Or there's truth behind it.
All right, look. And this
do you feel there might be a little truth behind other religions?
Again, this is no disrespect to anybody's personal beliefs, but this is Robert talking to Jeremy. Now, if you're talking to me,
I really hate that you're giving my government out right now, bro.
Hey, see, look, but at the end of the day, this is me saying I study Satanism. If you watch the tattoos on my arm, I got a bunch of Satanists tattooed. I've studied Catholicism. I studied Christianity. I studied Protestantism. I studied Judaism. I studied Islam. I studied a bunch of these different things. And I'm not talking about for a day or two. I'm talking about for years. And when it comes to what I personally believe, it may not be what other people believe, and it may be to their own personal opinion. But what helped me the most in life, right, is what I believe. And that's the reason why you see, like when you see me wearing a Buddhist necklace, I don't worship Buddha. Buddha is not a god. He's a fucking human being. But he was an intelligent and an educated man who formed a way of thinking and a way of living that I saw agreeable with. Now, if anybody saw anything else, any different, they have the right and shit to believe like that. But to me, when it came to Judaism, right? When it came to there being Jerusalem, whatever the case is, now you're talking about spiritual stuff. You're not talking about science. You're not talking about history.
That's what we're talking about. Spiritual, my G.
Yeah, right. Because
religion is spiritual.
Yeah,
Buddhism is spiritual.
Yeah.
Check it out. Let me say this real quick, bro.
Right.
Let me say this real quick, dog. When you get something, it could be anything.
Yeah.
That you got to put together.
All right.
There are directions.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need directions in life.
Everybody needs that. Everybody needs that.
History is a manuscript of directions.
What we've been through in our past.
What you don't do and what you might want to do, because in history and this what's written, it has been lessons that people before us have taken in life. Now, what I'm saying, my boy, is I believe in the book. I believe in the book because I believe this is directions of how Psalms, directions how to live, motherfucker. Proverbs,
Can I ask you a
Proverbs,
question?
what to do.
Can I ask you a question? If you burned every religious book that there was ever created, every religious book, including the Buddhist scriptures or whatever the case is, if you burned every religious book, will it come back the same?
I think it will come back to the same because it's written by God, dog, and God gave us this thing that we know from right and wrong just by instinct, by something that was instilled inside of us. Now, you got some dumb motherfuckers, dog, that don't know that shit, but the majority of society, just by not reading nothing, not giving directions, they see this little baby eating a fucking ham sandwich, and you're so fucking hungry, and you know better not to just snap shit out of the motherfucking hands. Yes.
See, now what you're getting into is morality. And I would say that when it comes to religious...
Spirituality.
No. Spirituality and morality are two different topics.
It's a part of the system.
See, when it comes
they're gears in the system.
All right, now, from my own opinion, and I'm not saying that I'm right, but in my own opinion, when it comes to spirituality, that's a personal inner compass that you find to guide you. And when it comes to morality...
You're saying what I'm saying in a different way right now. You're saying what I'm saying in a different way right now.
All right, so that's an inner compass to guide you. Now, when it comes to your conscious
inner compass.
Right.
Inner compass, what I was just talking about.
What's right and what's wrong. All right. Now, me, I'm Mexican, German, and Polish. All right.
You're going to hell.
Right. So at the end of the day, at the end of the day, when it comes to me, if you were to tell me, right, when it comes to my Mexican side, right? That's Aztec. That's Mayan.
Where's your power from?
See, my power comes from my power of choice. Everything that I decide to say and every action that I decide to do is what makes me me. That's what has all them listening to me decide whether they want to listen or whether they want to tune out, right? It comes from the things I say and the way that I act. It's their perception of who I am. But I control the way they see me by controlling the way I speak and controlling the way I act.
Let this boy go.
See?
I got his ass riled up right now.
See, but that's just
let him
me.
go.
But that's just me being
Pass
me.
with the straps. Thank you, brother. When did that damage? Let's teach the others not to follow, be leader. Yep. My boy, yeah. Pass with the straps. I love you, my G. Thank you very much. I got this motherfucker fired the fuck up.
Nah, see,
that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes you gotta. So check it out, bro. Come on, homie. We're playing a game of chess right now.
Exactly.
I don't necessarily need to win, but I can't fucking fold over. You got to challenge minds. And I'm not saying that, I'm fucking pulling strings, I'm challenging minds. No, bro. I want to throw shit at this dude, and I want to get this dude. You guys don't know this dude like this, right?
If you don't
know this dude like this. Look, sometimes you gotta have that conversation to get his true spirit 100% out. I just got his true spirit 100%. I didn't try to. I was really just telling him how I felt. Yeah. You know what I mean? But to see him just fucking, when you see someone just fucking elevate and they still elevating and all of a sudden like fucking everything is underneath their fucking feet, you know what I mean? And they take that shit to the hole and score whatever the fuck it might be, bro. I love that shit. Thank you, my G.
You already know, see, my big thing is when it comes to the way that I see the world and the way that I think about things is through my own personal experiences. And if anybody who believes in something different than I believe in, or for anybody who experienced something that I haven't experienced, I don't want them to think that I'm saying that I'm right. And I'm right only about the way that I think, and I'm right, or I'm trying.
Never that, dog.
Yeah.
You're just trying to, you know what, bro? Sometimes you got to plant seeds in people's heads, bro, and you got to give them a different angle of thinking about the situation.
Then let me get into that topic that we were talking about when it came to Satanism. Because remember when you see me post that book on my social media about Satanism?
Yeah, I said you're going to hell.
And then you said, I'm going to hell. And I'm like, look, I don't believe in heaven. I don't believe in hell. I don't believe in none of this other thing. Satanism, for those of you who believe in Anton LaVey's scripture about Satanism, that's way different than devil worshiping. Devil worshiping is these people who are anti-Christian, anti-God, anti all these other things.
What is Satanism?
Satanism is an atheistic belief where they use Satan as a figure and as a model to say as a sign of rebellion. All right. So where they look at the majority of people and they see them as sheep. All right. Because they listen to the news. They listen to the government. They listen to this, that, and etc. And they're looked at upon about sheep. Because what was Jesus called? The Lamb of God. All right. And when they look about Satanism, they look about that as about worshiping yourself, understanding your ego, understanding your mind, understanding your conscience, understanding your psyche, however the fuck you want to put it, and say, I believe in this because this is who I am. And I'm not going to fold in because of how other people believe. All right. I'm not going to bend to other people's will. I'm going to believe in this because this is the way I am. This is the way I think. This is how I see things fit. I believe in science because science is proven through study and facts. I don't believe in belief and faith because faith is me telling you something's in my hand and you believe it without me ever showing it to you. Because I could be playing you or I could be telling you the truth, but you will never know because you never see it. Science is knowing what's going on, knowing what's going to happen, and it being proved through facts. And that's the reason why I consider myself not a Mahayana Buddhist, but a Theravada Buddhist, which is basically an atheistic Buddhist, saying that I believe in his teaching because it helps me with my life. I believe in silence. I believe in what the majority of you call as boredom. All right? So, because it helps me build a better relationship with myself. It helps me sit down and think about myself, watch my own thoughts, and understand I am not my thoughts. My thoughts is everything that's going on, all my worries, all my desires, and all my fears. But it's not really who I am. I could watch that and watch them go by like clouds. Like, it's gone. It's gone. But what we have a habit of doing is holding on. And that's the reason why people celebrate anniversaries, why people celebrate birthdays, or all this other, because they want to be recognized, and they want attention, and they want to understand this is when I was born, this is what's going on, this is when we got our freedom, this is when Christmas is, or this is when that is, or this is when that is, right? Now that's not to degrade, denounce, or belittle anybody, because anybody has the right to believe in whatever they want to believe in, and if it helps you out, the more power to you. But when it comes to me, I don't think like that because of my own personal experiences. When you guys read books that were written by a Bible scholar and understand that the Roman Catholic Church was the ones who to say this is acceptable, this is not acceptable. So we're leaving out the Apocrypha, or we're leaving out the Gnostic scriptures because this is not suitable to the way that we're trying to portray this certain thing.
I don't agree with that shit. Just to let you know that, dog. No. I don't. When it says don't do this, don't do that. Check it out, bro. I'm not a robot, my boy. I was raised with a mother that fucking married a real Christian dude that was a part of this church in Pasadena and shit, dog. You know what I mean? And he was hardcore. And this Christian church told you how to wipe your motherfucking ass, how to fuck your wife. You know what I mean? How to fucking how much money they need to bring next Saturday for a fucking,
ain't no one gonna tell me what to think. I believe
for an offering. How much to bring next Saturday for an offering? You know what I mean? They would program, and what's crazy about it is after years, one day the church was going bankrupt. Exactly. And the church got on Stan, one of the last fucking gatherings or whatever you want to call it, bro. And basically they said, hey, you know what? You can do this. You can do that. We're going to be real with you now. Like, you're not going to go to hell for this. You're not going to go to hell for that. So when it comes to the scripture, all right, I don't mean to fucking go too long-winded on this, but when it comes to the scripture, I take it as a choice. All right. Any directions? Like if the directions is back to what I was saying, it was telling me to fucking put this shit together like this. If I see the nuts and the screws and I'm kind of familiar with life, you know what I mean? Then I can fucking figure this shit out and I can figure out what goes to what and I can do it how I want to do it. I don't have to read the fucking 1 through fucking 10 instructions. You know what I mean? So I just feel like with scripture, with Bible, you know what I mean? It was written to give you advice on the way you want to maneuver in life.
Yeah, see, me personally, I've studied the Old Testament front to back. I read the Holy Bible, which is the Old Testament and New Testament, a total of 7 times. I've studied the Gnostic scriptures. I've studied the Dead Sea Scrolls. I've studied Bible scholars. So when it comes to my own opinion, I see things the way that I see based on my emotional reaction to what I believe or what I find or what I get out of it.
What works with you, what moves your soul, what gets your energy right, what makes you feel good about life. I get that, and I respect that.
Yeah, and see, and I don't want people to think that my way is the only way, because anybody way that helps them become a better person, they have every right to see that and think that and believe in that. But me personally, what works for me may not work for you. I'll put it like that.
I mean, and I always feel like that too when I'm fucking with someone, dog. If I feel like they're trying to be the best version of themselves they can be, dog, you know what I mean? And they moving in the right direction, dog, I want to fuck with them. But when I see that they ain't, dog, you know what I mean? It's just like, bro, you know what I mean? We can't eat together, my G. I mean, or we can eat together, but we can't fucking, you know what I mean?
I think I got a first time ever for you.
Go ahead, shoot it.
I need to take a piss.
Go ahead, bro.
All right, I'll be right back. Stay tuned in.
Hey, everybody that wants to get a Hood Stocks tank top, you see this motherfucker? Look at this motherfucker right here. This motherfucker's fresh as fuck. I know you guys asked for this shit. I gave it to you, you know what I mean? But at www.50racks.com, get yourselves a Hood Stocks tank top. Don't order the stickers. I'll give those stickers to you for free. Sometimes cats order them. Don't order them. I'll give them to you for free. But www.50racks.com, get your tank top, get your mask. I got more masks coming and shit. I love you motherfuckers. Thank you. You know what I mean? How's everything going though? You know what I mean? Can we hear everything? Is everything good? You know the homie's taking a leak right now. We'll take a little break. Shout out to Little Mark. He said I like LOKO. Yeah, no, this is the This dude right here, let me tell you about this guy. This dude right here had the most views in number 9 of the podcast. He had the most views and people loved him. I got 2 all-stars of this podcast. Everybody's a star, but we got the all-stars, and I don't care, you know what I mean? You know, no disrespect to anyone else, but I got 2 all-stars on Hoodstocks podcast. The first one was LOKO. The second one, I'm sorry, was Shooter.
Yeah.
These are my all-stars right here, you know what I mean? So this dude coming with the heat and shit off the rip.
Yeah.
How was that piss right there, dog?
No, that piss was lovely. I was holding that for a while because I didn't want to interrupt, but I just said, fuck it. You people out there in YouTube land following Hoodstocks, y'all got to understand. When a motherfucker got to pee, I'm going to go pee. I'm not going to piss my pants.
I've never shitted in the middle of a podcast.
Hey.
But one day it's going to happen. I'm going to be like, oh, my stomach's fucked up.
First time for everything, my boy. I'm right here holding it. I'm like, we're going. I don't want to cut it and shit, but I got to take a piss.
No, you got to piss. Shout out to Mr. Hernandez. You always dropping love, my G. Pedro Hernandez. Thank you, my G. Thank you so much, dog. What's up with the books? That would be a badass podcast of them both. Yeah, Shooter and LOKO, most definitely. I'll think about that one. You know, maybe we'll put it together. I need 10 of them. Highland Park. Oh, Highlands Puppet. What up, Puppet? You know what I mean, Lux, can you ask LOKO what does he think of gentrification in Highland Park? Yeah, let's go there.
As far as gentrification for Highland Park, for those of the people who live in that community, at the end of the day, you understand. That's just a pink shine of York Boulevard. That doesn't change any of the back streets, and that doesn't really change a lot of
stuff.
No,
it does. It does, brother.
See, no.
Because I can't afford to live in the hood no more, bro.
No. I understand what
it does.
What you're saying as far as renters go, but like my family has been living in the neighborhood.
You own a crib.
Yeah, and since the 70s. So at the end of the day, when it comes to me, it doesn't really affect me. Yeah, I see people late at night walking their dogs, and I wasn't used to that shit because late at night when we used to be out there, it's about people getting robbed, people getting all this other shit. So when I see this stuff, I see it as what the fuck? But then as long as you live in the neighborhood, you start understanding that it's like a thing where it doesn't really bother you. Now, as far as, what the fuck do you call these the
hipsters?
Nah, not hipsters, but
colonizers?
Proud Boys.
Oh, Proud
Boys. For all these racist motherfuckers who try to come down to the community, it's like, come on, dude. Do you think these people are gonna cross a path with a person who comes from the background that we come from? Fuck no. They're not gonna bother us. They're gonna look for the innocent alote man. They're gonna look for the innocent person walking down the street and minding their own business. It's gonna come to a lot of this other stuff. Right? Because when it comes to people who stand up for themselves, people need to understand. If you're not intimidated by a lot of these things, right, then you're not intimidated by a lot of these things. These things don't faze you. But when you show fear to something, that's showing people that you're giving something power over you. You get me? And I don't give nobody power over me. In my heart, I could be scared as fuck. But in reality, I'm not going to show no goddamn fear. I'm not going to show this, and that. Because I'll be damned if I give anybody the satisfaction to think he's scared, he doesn't know what to do, or he doesn't know what to expect. Because whatever is going to happen is going to happen regardless about how I feel. And that's just being honest. Yo, feel me?
Yeah, no, I feel you, dog. I mean, nobody ever wants to be castrated.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, you're not gonna snatch the nuts off my waist that easy.
Exactly.
I mean, I've been in some situations where I was scared, dog. Courtrooms, just different situations where I was just like, "Fuck, this is a bad situation," you know.
Yeah.
But my nuts always stayed intact. You know what I mean? Because I guess it's just the back to the hunted and the hunter. You know?
Yeah. No. See, and that's where it goes back into it. It's a matter of perspective.
They're asking if you washed your hands, though.
If I wash of course I wash my hands. And I use soap. Thank you very much for your concerns. Nah, but at the end of the day, of course that everybody feels fear. But when you show people that you're afraid, you give them a power over you. And some people get kind of empowered. Because I don't want to say turned on, because then they'll get into sadomasochism. But they feel empowered by fear. They get empowered by all this other stuff. And I'm not one of those type of cats. and shit. So I'm like, fuck all that.
Yeah, no doubt, dog. No doubt. Damn, there's a lot of shit going on right now, bro. This time we're living in, dog, is fucking. It's just 100%. Just like it's pure. It's at its. Man, we are in a.
2020 has been a hell of a motherfucking year from January until now.
Yeah, it's just like it's in your fucking face, dog, and it's not one thing that's in your face, dog. There's all kinds of different elements, dog, that are just popping off like the motherfucking 4th of July in the hood, dog.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's that time, bro.
Yeah.
It's time. Like our time is now.
Yeah.
Whatever you believe in, I said it before, whatever you believe in, whatever you feel that is wrong, whatever you feel you need to stand for, you got to stand for it right now, dog.
Yeah. No, see, and I totally agree with you because at the end of the day, if you look at 2020, right, we had the COVID-19 pandemic, which we're still going through. You had all this racial injustice, which started a big old civil rights movement, which hasn't been seen since like the 60s, where Martin Luther King and Malcolm X was still alive. And we're experiencing all these things and seeing all these other things. And it's not the news who's showing this to us, just to be straight. It's Instagram and social media and all this other stuff who are pulling people's covers, as we'll call it, from our backgrounds. And so when you rip somebody's covers off of them and exposing them and stuff for what things really are and how people are when other people ain't looking. Because a lot of these other people in these power positions, in these political positions, and these authority positions, right? They're starting to get their pants pulled down and embarrassed by the media, social media, and by everybody else all around.
I mean, can you imagine getting all your pants pulled down in the snow, in the winter, in the mountains, with a crowd of people in front of you, dog?
Nah, see, me personally, I can't imagine that, you know what I mean? But these motherfuckers are straight out getting embarrassed, fool, because at the end of the day...
That was for all the button dicks.
Yeah, not making any comments here. You can't see the homie in the background, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, but...
The fools that talk that like they get the biggest dicks, dog, sometimes, they, you know what I mean? I'll be hearing some of the homies, you know what I mean, telling war stories about whoopty whoop whoop, and then you taking a shower in the gym with them, and they fucking, you know what I mean? Like, homie, like, you...
For those of you who've been to jail, you understand. No homo at all.
I don't ever say no homo, dog, because, like, if you gay and you really want to take it there, dog, then that's on you, you fucking weirdo, you know what I mean? But if we shooting the breeze and we talking shit, dog, like, I ain't got to tell you no homo to just let you know that I ain't really gay about this shit. Because if you feel like it's gay about it, you gay as fuck.
Anything, two men sitting down in a room talking about the length of someone's penis sounds gay as fuck. So I got to say, no homo. You feel me? Because motherfuckers out there who don't come from the same background, they may see it through a different life. So I'm like, oh, no homo.
Well, you have a question.
All right.
You have a question from Denise in Eagle Rock.
All right.
Denise in Eagle Rock, since you're talking about all this fucking no homo shit, I feel like this might be fit perfectly in, dog. You know what I mean?
Segue.
Yeah. Have you ever put on a G-string and looked at your ass in the mirror?
As far as the G-string and look at my ass in the mirror, no, because I do not try on women's panties. My name isn't Casper, and I ain't from a certain area. Yeah. If you know, then you know, and if you don't know, my bad if your last name's Osuna.
You're a dick for saying that, dog. You know what I mean? Come on, homie. Maybe the homie was just tweaked the fuck out, bro. You know what I mean?
If you saw the pictures,
I saw the pictures, dog.
I saw the pictures.
I saw the pictures.
He had to be on some
You're
type of... You're
talking about the bra, homie.
Yeah, and the ball sack hanging out through the side of the panties. Like, what the fuck is really going on?
So you've never been so high that you put on a pair of women's underwear and let your dick hanging out the side?
I never touched a drug until I was 27, and I've only fucked around with it for a matter of 6 months. Then I realized my priorities and stopped doing drugs. That's not to belittle anybody. That's not to say I'm better than anybody, but that's through me, my life, and my own personal experiences.
Well, I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to come clean, dog. You know what I mean? I might regret this, and you can go ahead and repost this on fucking Instagram and shit. But one time I was so fucking high off of dope, and fucking I was fucking the shit out of this one little bitch and shit. You know what I mean? One time I was clowning out, dog, and I put some fucking granny panties on, dog. You know what I mean? And I let my dick hang out the fucking side, dog. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? And she came in and we laughed and we fucked and the panties came off. You know what I mean? But I mean, is that really a violation, dog, of the gangster fucking thing? Like, do fools really get high, clown out, you know what I mean? And then you got that bitch that took the picture, you know what I mean? And then she pushes it all around the motherfucking neighborhood, dog. And there you are with granny panties and your dick hanging out the fucking side, you know what I mean? Well, I mean, if you were solid enough, homie, dog, can that be like fucking lucky, dog? You a fool for that shit, dog.
I'm gonna tell you like
You're
this.
stupid as fuck. I mean, do certain homies get a pass for that? And if you're just on the chopping block and you get caught up in that, then you really just a half-ass homie, you get crucified. But can gangster motherfuckers get away with that shit?
Cinco. I plead the fifth. Cinco.
Like, that fool stupid as fuck. Like, that fool must have been clowning. He was high as fuck, dog. He had the fucking high heels on. No, the high heels is violation, bro. Violation, dog.
This shit is turning a dark turn. I don't know where it's going. No.
It's a conversation, bro.
A conversation is a conversation.
The 90s, dog, and I'm not saying the granny panties were in with cholos, dog. I'm just saying the 90s, homie, like, you were just fucking buck wild, wilding the fuck out, losing your goddamn mind, dog. And motherfuckers did the most craziest fucking shit because it was always trying to top the next motherfucking crazy motherfuckers. I mean, and I'm not saying, oh, we crazy. Oh, you put on a G-string? I'm gonna put on some granny panties. I'm not saying that, bro. I'm just saying, like, it was just fucking wild. Motherfuckers cop murders, homie. Woke up the next day with the case, dog, and said, what the fuck did I just do? They were so fucking high, dog. They were committing these fucking crazy ass crimes, dog, and they fucked them up for the rest of their life. You know what I mean?
No, I know plenty of people from back in the days.
I'm not trying to talk myself out of these granny panties, though. It might be true.
To each their own. To each their own. See, I'm not talking because we come from the same area, so we know a lot of the same people, and I know you were a part of this club before I was a part of this club.
It was a club, yeah.
Yeah,
and I like the way you said it like that, dog. It was a fraternity.
Yeah,
not everybody was welcomed in it.
Exactly. You was a part of this fraternity before I was a part of this fraternity, but by the time I got in this fraternity, we weren't the most liked. We weren't the most socially acceptable because at the time, a bunch of people who came from that background, just to be frank, and I don't mean to offend anybody, but we didn't give a fuck, all right? We didn't give two fucks. But at the end of the day, those people who came from that background grew up to be people like me and you, grew up to be the same people who say, I could make my own podcast. I could get full custody of my children without worrying about my baby's mother. Or I could do this, or I could do that, or I could do all these other things and actually come through to it. Because how many people who are fathers have full custody of their own kids? How many people who made it out the neighborhood, have their own pad, and do all this other stuff, have their own podcast? How many other people who has been through the amount of bullshit that we've been through, who come out at the other end and say that they're success stories? Not too many people. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm sorry, Dom. I'm undoing some of these comments because a lot of these comments people are talking shit, but I'll let you fools talk your shit because it gives me the opportunity to let your comment go through or not let your comment go through if it's detected as just some foul ass shit, you know. But I want to say deadbeat dads, yeah, all right, fighting demons. What up, my G? I love you too, dog. 100%. Once upon a time ago, yes. For me, I'll speak on myself. But now, dog, my G, I'll break your motherfucking face over some shit like that, dog. You know what I mean? But once upon a time ago, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I didn't read the comment, nor do I give a fuck. So at the end of the day, fool, but I'm just trying to say this. If you know me, you don't know me. If you want to be on social media and be a net banger or a whooper, go right ahead. Because where I come from, that's not allowed. We do not tolerate that shit.
No, it's cool, dog.
No. I'm not trying to give them the attention nor the recognition of whoever the fuck may be saying whatever the fuck, because I don't really give a shit. At the end of the day, you don't know anybody's hard when they're behind the keyboard like, fuck you, bitch, suck dick, fuck jalapenos, fucking lames, fucking faggots, and they can say whatever they want because they real tough guys. But if they see us on the street, say it to their face, see what happens. Because if it comes to my safety, I will protect my safety. And when it comes to your mouth, you will get knocked the fuck out. Try me.
You know what, dog? I'm not trying to give them energy. What I do with my chat line is we shoot the breeze. You know what I mean? We shoot the breeze for the good and the bad, and that's what keeps my podcast going. It's because I feel like I interact with the people on the chat line. You know what I mean?
Can I just say
so we just have a conversation and shit. And yeah, go ahead.
Can I just tag over? Oh, listen here, you little cocksucking sons of bitches. If you got negative comments and you think you're tough and big and bad and you're talking all that bullshit on social media, no, I will knock at your mama's house, stick my dick in her mouth, and fucking fuck her brains out. If you don't like it, fuck your mama and your dead homies. Biatch. All right, there you go, my boy. Now I'll give you back the floor.
That was like a fucking, you know what I mean, a little commercial on Hood Stocks real quick.
Commercial break, bitches.
Yeah, no, bro. Like I was saying, bro. I'm not trying to give this dude energy. But I just like, I take my fatherhood very serious these days, dog. Yeah. You know, and one thing that I'm good at, dog, and I didn't even know it, bro. I'm good at being a dad, dog. I love my baby so much, dog. I correct every way I step because of my babies, dog. You know what I mean? Because without me, dog, I don't ever want to see my babies, dog. You know what I mean? So, fatherhood. Now, I take it real serious. Back then, man, you fucking step on me, homie. I was just a piece, dog, of a bad father, dog.
Like I said earlier, when you were a kid, you thought like a kid, you acted like a kid, you behaved like a kid. But at the end of the day, when you became a man, you put all those childish things behind you, dude. You feel me? And at the end of the day, when it comes to me and when it comes to the person that I am, my kids are my priority. My kids are my motherfucking everything. And for other people who don't agree, they got the right to disagree. For other people who don't think, believe, or conduct themselves in the same way, go ahead. But if you got any negative, or let me correct myself. If you have any negativity to say, fuck your mama and your daddy and your bald-headed granny. Love you, bitch. You don't know how I do it, my boy.
Yeah, no doubt, dog.
Yeah, so.
No shit. I mean, it's all good. We good. Anyways, dog. I'm sorry to take you down that road, dog.
Nah, it's cool.
I didn't mean to do that, bro. I was just like fucking. Like I said, I replied to the comments and shit. Yeah. But it's we live in a world, bro, where everybody has something to say and an opinion. Yeah, sometimes shit isn't good and shit. And we gotta take it with a grain of salt. I mean, when I responded to it, I felt like it wasn't like mad anger behind my response, even though it might have sounded like that, dog. Yeah. You know, it was more of just a good-hearted fucking Lucky Sun Zoo comment right back to you, dog. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, dog, like I don't fucking wanna create anything that doesn't need to be created. You know what I mean? Unless it needs to go there, and then you know what I mean. It is what it is, bro. You know, but. This podcast, dog, is for cats like you to come spit your shit, dog.
Yeah, no, and like I've been doing, I went through all my books. I've tried to give as much knowledge as I can, and I've tried to share everything as much as I can. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask all your questions. But besides that, I really ain't got too much more to say or to touch on unless you want to touch on anything else.
Yeah, no doubt. Anybody got any questions for the homie before we check out of this bitch? You know what I mean? Go ahead and ask right now, dog. Hey, shout out to Johnny. I see you, my G. Keep pushing, dog. He said I'm one of those dudes. Hard life, 3 prison terms, and the whole 9. Now I got a good career, my own spot, custody of my 2 girls, and living life. Shout out to everyone that's been through the struggle. Hey, my G, much love, much respect. I appreciate you. You got a question from Ellie Cruz. I might be saying your first name wrong. My bad. She says, "What made you want to study religion?"
See, what made me wanting to study religion is understand where we all come from and what's the meaning of life. All right. when I started getting into this stuff, because me personally, I didn't know how to read or write because I didn't give a fuck about education and stuff until I went to prison. So once you go to prison, you start to see a lot of smart, articulate people surrounding you and stuff. And that made me want to start to understand myself. So I started off basically by reading the dictionary, by studying all this other stuff, and then inquiring, always asking questions to myself. And if I had a question, it was my passion and my desire to look for the answers to the best of my abilities.
Yeah, for sure, though. You got another question? Family or beliefs? What's first? And that's from Advanced, I think, Movement.
Family always comes before beliefs because it doesn't matter what I believe in. Because like me personally, I'm a Buddhist. My girl's a Wiccan. She believes in witchcraft and all this other stuff. And I may not agree with her on a lot of terms, but when it comes to me, it's family above all.
100%. You got another question? Out of all the books you got, Loco, what's your top one you recommend? Go ahead and show that to them too.
Are you talking about the books that I got here or books in general? If it's
books you got right here.
If it's books I got right here, it's The Power of Now, A Guide to Spiritual Enlightenment by Eckhart Tolle.
Let's see.
It's that one and stuff. But if you're talking about books in general, it's a book called Thick Face, Black Heart. I don't know the name of the author, but if you type that in on Google, the author will pop up. And that's my favorite book in general because it teaches you how to have thick skin, all right? And not give a fuck about anybody else or how anybody else is feel, to always do what's in your best interest.
You got another question? What's your strength and what's your weakness?
My biggest strength is the fact that when I have an obstacle, it's my passion to overcome that obstacle. And when it comes to my weakness is simply once I care about something or once I put effort into something, if I can't overcome it, I may beat myself up over the fact that I couldn't figure this out or I failed at something, but I try to prepare myself in a better way and not to make the same mistakes for the next time around.
Yeah, for sure, Don. Let's see what else we got. You had another one I was trying to look at real quick. Which is, I might have just. All right, hey, bro, we're just going to do it like this, dog. Thank you for blessing the platform once again, my G.
And no problem. Until next time.
Yeah, until next time. Anybody, you want to give anybody any shout-outs, anything?
I just want to give a shout-out to the homegirl Reverie, who's doing her rapping thing, the homegirl in Crip, who does her photography. I want to give a shout-out to the homie Sporty with his clothing line with the Urban Temptations. I want to give a shout-out to anybody else who's out there hustling and trying to make money and doing their best to be their best and trying to make money in a positive way. Shout out to everybody out there.
Yeah, much love and respect, dog. Thank you for blessing the platform. Everybody give it up for LOKO.